Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and it's time for some Gunpla news. So the high-grade Iron-Blooded Orphans Gundam Vidar and high-grade The Origin Bugu have been released today on December 1st, and as a result, we have clear box images of the Bugu, and it is looking pretty cool. Now this is a kit that I really didn't like that much when I first saw images of it back when they first revealed it. We've seen a lot of it since then, and it has warmed up on me. Although I'm not sure I'll be getting this immediately on release, I think I will pick it up at some point, just because it is a Xeon kit from Gundam The Origin, so there's really not much that could go wrong. We also have box art for the Psycho Zaku 1, although that will not be out until later this month. Next up, we have some more official images of the real grade Build Strike. It's looking very cool, very detailed. I am actually going to try to get this one pretty soon after release, although obviously not immediately because, international shipping, but still I'm going to try to get a hold of one of these because it looks pretty awesome, and I am a big Build Fighters fan, so obviously going to want to have this in my collection. Next, we have official images for the next wave of Petitegguys. This is the one with the dog and the cat. So the first one is the cat one. It is called Stray Black in Cat Coast. That's the full name of the kit. I don't know why, but it's got box art like every other Petitegguy. They all pretty much have the same kind of styled box art. Then we got it here in a neutral pose and in a more kind of expressive pose. It's got a new face, ears, and tail. So we got a little bit of new tooling compared to the bears. And then we have its wave mate, which is it's called Woof Woof White and Dog Coast. These are really dumb names. But anyway, similar retooling to Stray Black, so it's got new ears, new face, new tail. It's got, the same box art, again, like a lot of the other Petitegguys, although with little doggy bones in the background. And then here we got it in a neutral pose and in a more expressive pose. Next up, we have box art and more for the Master Grade Psycho Zaku. So this kit's coming out in December. This is going to be our big December release for the Master Grade line, and also more or less our third release overall this year, which is kind of lame, but still, this guy looks like he's doing all he can to make up for it. The box for this is looking absolutely massive. This is going to be a big triple-wide box, just like the Suzabi Verka, the XS Gundam. This is going to be big. It looks cool. Of course, since this is a massive box, it's going to cost a lot to ship this thing if you don't live in Japan. And on top of the 9,500 yen price tag for the base model, this is definitely a big, expensive kit. And it looks really cool with all the decals on too. You got a lot of material in the box, a lot of parts here, a lot of stuff going on. Here we can actually see the sub-arms being used here. And what's cool about this Master Grade as opposed to the High Grade is in addition to those arms being articulated, he can actually hold the Sturmfaust in the claws for the hands, which is really cool because there's a scene in the OVA where he uses them in those sub-arms, and you cannot do that with the High Grade, and that kind of annoyed me, so I'm really glad to see the Master Grade can do that. And also it looks like it's got a new bazooka that I somehow missed up to this point, but it looks more like the kind of beam bazookas that you might see on something like the Rick-DS, so that's pretty awesome. Pretty cool weapon that the High Grade did not come with, so again, cool to see they're adding some new parts to the Master Grade to make it worth the rather massive price tag that goes with it. Pretty cool. Then finally, this last announcement of the night is a little sad, a little disappointing. So many of you are probably familiar with the Gundam Statue in Odaiba. For those who aren't, basically it is a 1-to-1 scale statue of the original RX-78-2 Gundam. It's sort of super detailed in a very realistic style. If you've ever seen the real grade Gundam, if you've ever seen the Master Grade Gundam 3.0, both those models are styled after the Odaiba statue. It's really cool. It's a really cool thing to see in person. It even has some slight animatronics to it, so like the head moves around a little, stuff like that. Very cool to see in person. Really awesome, really big, very imposing. And unfortunately, they are going to be dismantling it on March 5th, 2017. So if you want to go see it as it is right now, you have basically 3 months. Now, supposedly, this is going to be in preparation for that thing Bandai's always been talking about how, they want to make it walk by 2019. So supposedly, from what I've heard, this is kind of them gearing up to do that. They're getting ready to set that stuff up. That's the story so far, though. Although they are taking down the rest of the Gundam Front Tokyo exhibit in April, so they could also just be moving everything somewhere else. So it's a little too early to tell on that, but if you want to see Gundam Front Tokyo and the 1-to-1 Gundam Statue, you want to get that whole experience as it is right now, you basically have 3 months to do so. So on that final note, a little bit of a sad note, but that is unfortunately where we have to end the news for tonight. So leave a like in memory of Gundam Front Tokyo, and if you aren't already subscribed, click the icon on the screen to keep up with Gunpla news. And if you want to check out some of the other stuff I've made, click on the boxes to either side of that icon. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time.